Your cat knows you're not a cat. That part is obvious. But what's strange is they may not think of you as human either. To your cat, you are something much more specific, a source of warmth, a part of home, a powerful creature that controls doors, food, comfort, and the emotional weather of the room. And once you understand what your cat really thinks you are, some of their weirdest behaviors start making perfect sense. Part 1. Cats don't think in names. They think in patterns. Humans are obsessed with identity. We want to know what everything is. Is it friendly? Is it mine? Is it a person like me? Cats care much less about labels and much more about behavior. To your cat, the important question isn't, what species is this? The real question is, what happens when this being enters my space? Do you feed them? Do you disturb them? Do you open doors? Do you move too fast? Do you understand their signals or ignore them? That's why your cat can treat one human like a trusted companion and another like a walking inconvenience. Because in the feline mind, identity is not just biology, it's experience. Your cat may not think, this is a human. They may be thinking something closer to, this is the large, predictable being who lives here. This is the one whose footsteps mean dinner. This is the warm creature who sometimes annoys me, but belongs in my world. And that difference matters, because your cat's relationship with you is not built on your species, it's built on your pattern. Part 2. To your cat, you are part creature and part place. This is where it gets strange. To your cat, you may not just be a living being. You may also be something like a location. Think about it. Your cat sleeps on your clothes, sits in your chair the second you get up, rubs against your legs, follows you from room to room, sleeps next to you like your body is a safe landmark in the house. That's not random. Cats build their world around scent, routine, and emotional geography. They map comfort the same way we map rooms, and over time, you become part of that map. Not just someone they know, something more intimate than that. That's why a cat can ignore an expensive bed and sleep on the sweater you wore yesterday. Why they can avoid strangers but curl up beside your feet without hesitation. Why they sometimes seem calmer just because you're in the room, even if you're doing absolutely nothing. You are not only a social figure to your cat, you are a piece of stable territory, which means when you leave for too long, it doesn't just feel like a person is gone. To some cats, it feels like a part of the home has disappeared.
Subscribe to learn more about cats.
Part 3. You are also the keeper of impossible powers. Now let's talk about why cats can seem so strangely serious around humans. Your cat watches you do things they cannot do. You open doors that were once walls. You make food appear. You move giant objects. You change the lighting in the room. You control sounds, smells, routines, visitors, and space. To your cat, that makes you more than a companion. It makes you a force. Not a god exactly. Cats are far too emotionally complicated to worship anyone. But you are definitely a creature with unusual power. That's why they lead you to a closed door and expect you to understand. Why they stare at the cabinet where treats are kept like you've hidden the secrets of the universe in there. Your cat doesn't think of you as a fellow equal in the way another human would. You are more like the mysterious operator of the household, the one connected to every important system. Food, access, comfort, change. And this is why trust matters so much. Because when a being controls so much of your environment, their mood and behavior become incredibly important. Your cat doesn't just notice what you do. They study how you affect the laws of their world.
Part 4. When cats love you, they don't love you like humans do. This might be the most beautiful part. Your cat may not think of you as a human, but that doesn't mean they love you less. It means they love you in feline terms. When your cat slow blinks at you, that's not human affection. When they headbutt you, rub their face against you, sleep nearby, groom your hair, bring you a toy, or simply choose to be where you are, they are not acting out human love. They are using cat language. And that's what makes it so meaningful. Your cat is not translating themselves into your world. They are inviting you into theirs. They are saying, "You are safe enough to be near when I sleep. You are familiar enough to carry my scent. You matter enough for me to check where you are. You belong enough for me to use my own social behaviors with you." That is not small. In fact, it may be one of the deepest forms of trust a cat can offer. Because a cat doesn't include just anyone in their private language. So when your cat treats you in ways that seem subtle, quiet, or oddly specific, it may be because you are no longer just a big animal in the house. You are part of their inner circle, not as a human, but as you. Part 5. So what are you to your cat really? If you're not a human in your cat's inner world, then what are you? You might be a guardian of routine, a warm piece of territory, a social companion, a source of safety, a mysterious giant who controls doors and food, a familiar scent, a recurring presence that makes the world feel stable. In other words, to your cat you may be less like a category and more like a role, a very personal role, one no other creature feels in exactly the same way. And that's why cats can grieve humans. Wait for them, search for them, sleep in their spot, become quieter when they're gone. Not because cats sit around thinking, "I miss my human person" in a philosophical sense, but because someone essential to the structure of their world is suddenly missing. A presence, a rhythm, a scent, a shape in the home that meant safety, familiarity, and life as they knew it. So no, your cat probably doesn't think of you as human, at least not in the way humans think of humans. You are something stranger than that, something more personal, more familiar, more deeply woven into their world than most people realize. A moving part of home, a keeper of patterns, a trusted presence in a life built on routine, scent, comfort, and quiet understanding. And if your cat has a habit that suddenly makes more sense after this, tell me in the comments. I'd really love to know what role you think your cat has given you in their world.